Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being connected to Headlines, your weekly news session program on radio television of Burkina Faso. Rockmark Christian Kabore offered a dinner to the stakeholders of Philip 2017, the International Festival of Freedom of Speech and Press. The president grabbed the opportunity to reaffirm his attachment to the freedom of speech in Burkina Faso. The organizing committee showed all its gratefulness to Rockmark Christian Kabore for his support since he was the president of the National Assembly. Philip is hosting its 7th edition after the 6th interrupted by 2015 military coup. The theme of this current edition is security challenges in Africa. Paul Kabatieba in a mission trip to Côte d'Ivoire. The Prime Minister is taking part to the forum Diaspora Invest and GPEC, the Economic and Commercial Promotion Days of Burkina Faso from November the 9th to the 11th, 2017. In the framework of this journey, Paul Kabatieba met his counterpart of Côte d'Ivoire, Amadou Gon Coulibaly. The two prime ministers had a working meeting. They dealt about the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation, which involves many projects such as the rehabilitation of the railroad Abidjan-Ouagadougou-Kaya, and concerning this project, the launching ceremony is going to take place on December. Before this trip to Abidjan, Paul Kabatieba was at the opening ceremony of the 14th edition of the National Week of Internet and ICTs, coupled with the launching ceremony of the giant project called e-Burkina. This edition is placed under the theme ICTs and Security. We met Prime Minister Paul Kabatieba.
The revolution of the numeric is necessary for us to increase the productivity of our economy, to increase the competitivity of our economy, to increase the welfare of Burkina Faso. Because if you look around the world, the numerical economy is one of the main challenge today in the world. The new backbone we are building will permit to all the Burkina Faso people, rural people, urban people, to be connected. But connected is not sufficient. We need some application, and e-Burkina will offer some to us the application we need for the farmers, for students, for the administration. The application to optimize the utilization of the infrastructure.
Information and communication technologies and security. That is the main topic that will be debated at the 13th edition of the National Week of Internet and ICTs. Nowadays, can we be more secured in these high-speed developing technologies of information and communication? We asked this question to a specialist at this 13th edition of the National Week of Internet.
It is possible because I think that government have to set up a legal and a technical infrastructure in order to secure communication and use as a national strategy in order to say to each users how each other can secure our navigations. We have softwares, we have technical equipment to secure communications.
Edna Mazongwe, the president of the Senate of Zimbabwe, landed at Ouagadougou during this week. As many presidents of the different African countries' parliament, she is taking part to the 71st Executive Committee session of the African Parliamentary Union, coupled with the 40th meeting of presidents.
We are here to discuss issues on improving the interparliamentary relations in our different parliaments. We are also going to debate about how we can address the issue of, like, people coming from different tribes, different backgrounds, but making them work together and minimizing conflict in our respective countries.
Okay. So is there any specific challenge that you need as parliamentarian to take up?
I think we do realize that we need to talk about the interparliamentary discussions. We have to talk about the different backgrounds, because in most African countries, as you know, we have different tribes. We all come from different tribes, and yet we try to make our governments work. We try to get along together So we are going to share information on how the different parliaments are addressing that problem, so that we, in the end, we have a harmonious Africa and a very fruitful African Parliamentary Union.
Is it your first time to be here in Burkina Faso?
Yes.
And how do you find the country?
It's good to be in Africa. I'm from Southern Africa, and you're in the West Africa, so it's like being at home. I don't feel any differently from being in Zimbabwe. And the welcome was warm. The Deputy Speaker and I really appreciate the way we were received, and we feel at home.
Yusuf Sawadogo is now the new Minister of Culture and Tourism. He is replacing Tairu Bari, who resigned from the government officially for personal reason. Yusuf Sawadogo took office during this week. More details with Mumuni Subega.
The new Minister of Culture, Yusuf Sawadogo, ready to serve. He was officially installed by the Secretary General of the government. He promised to do his best to promote culture in Burkina Faso and beyond borders. Being member of the government is an important mission where we can develop one's country by giving one's best, he says. He added that his priority is to carry on till the end, files his predecessor did not accomplish. For the minister Sawadogo, in the coming time, he will make a planning that will be in conformity with the vision of the government. He is replacing Tairu Bari, who resigned from the government after spending 22 months at the head of this department. Tairu Bari says he is grateful to those who helped him overcoming some challenges during his mission. As far as the new minister is concerned, he says he's expecting the support of the whole personnel to help him reaching his goal.
An artificial insemination to increasing cows production in Burkina Faso. The launching of this project was made in the vicinities of Ouagadougou, the capital city, by the minister in charge of the cattle breeding. More details with our reporter, Momuni Subega.
In Zaktulu, an area located not far from Ouagadougou, the minister in charge of cattle breeding is launching an artificial insemination campaign. The objective of the government is to increase cows production in Burkina Faso. Another purpose of this insemination is to increase milk production through the development of cows able to produce a high quantity of milk. This activity consists in inseminating every year 3,000 cows so that we can get at the end nearly 2,500 cows in order to improve genetically the cow's race, says the cattle breeding minister. Local races produce between 5 and 6 liters a day. The artificial insemination gives a mixed race able to produce about 15 and 20 liters of milk a day. It does not mean that local cows are not good. The difference is that they produce less quantity of milk a day, this man says. The insemination campaign is launched in the framework of the Milk Breeding Development Project around Ouagadougou. The project aims at training about 500 modern farmers who can produce about 15 and 20 liters of milk a day. In the frame of this project, authorities are planning to create a milk plant at Koubri area. After Ouagadougou, other milk plants will also be set up in other cities, the cattle breeding minister says.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching us. Headline is over, but before leaving, let me share with you this proverb. Procrastination is a thief of time. Procrastination is a thief of time, meaning that delaying actions for too long is simply a waste of time. See you and take care.